leaders and supporters of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the All Progressives Congress, APC, who he invited for a peace meeting. He said the meeting became necessary in the light of the recent bad press Edo State has generated recently due to some utterances and actions of the politicians and their supporters. The Benin monarch noted that the players were former allies, wondering why they couldn't shift grounds to resolve their differences and save the state's bloodshed.
I want to ask the political actors in Edo State, knowing how you have been coming, you have been together, you have been not together, you are missing everybody, you are confusing the press, you are confusing the public, you are confusing everybody. Why are you all doing this? Is it because of just the office? The office is 4 years, at the most for another 4 years. Why do you want lives to be lost? Why do we hear that you are arming thugs? Why? At the end of the day, the thugs keep those guns with them. You cannot tell them to. If it is true, I don't know if it is true. The politicians are arming them.
The two candidates, Governor Godwin Obaseki of the PDP and Pastor Osage Izeyama of the APC, both pledged to honor the commitment and put their supporters in check.
As the Chief Security Officer of the state and incumbent, I am sworn to an oath, swearing to my God, that I will not participate, I have never participated in violence, particularly as it affects the people I love. I will never, I have never. And just put it on record that I have no problems whatsoever with my brother Osage Izeyama. We're going to pass this message that we have been giving on every campaign we do in sport. We're going to spend some time also talk to all of them about the need to keep to the peace, no matter what provocation they might talk about. They must ensure that there's no violence. This election is a family one.
Also present at the meeting were former governors and national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Chief John Oyegun and Comrade Adams Oshomole, as well as the Deputy Governor, Comrade Philip Shaibu, and the running mate to the APC candidate, Honorable Gani Audu. Similarly, the police command in Edo has assured residents on adequate security ahead of September 19th governorship poll in the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Johnson Kukumo, said this while briefing the Oba of Benin, Obaiwai II, on the preparations for the election at his palace in Benin on Wednesday. Kukumo said adequate security will be provided before, during and after the election, despite the seeming rising tension in the state. He said measures have been taken to nip in the bud any incident of violence and breakdown of order before, during and after the poll. The Commissioner of Police said that anyone found wanting, irrespective of position, will be made to face the full wrath of the law. He said the police have joined forces with sister security agencies, including the military, to ensure that the election was violence-free. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party in Edo State have called on its supporters to remain peaceful and avoid violence before or during the forthcoming governorship election in the state. The party's governorship candidate and the governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, made the call at Orionwa local government area while rounding off the word-to-word campaign in the council. Addressing party supporters at Uboko, Urunibe North and South, and other wards visited, the party asked its supporters to remain peaceful at all time, no matter the level of provocation by anyone.
We promise him that this election will be peaceful, very, very peaceful. Nobody should make any trouble. Even when they find you trouble, just leave them. When they find you trouble, make you not leave them. Just make sure say una plenty past them.
The focus on peace followed the commitments to peace made earlier at the palace of the Oba of His Royal Majesty, Omonoba Nedo Kwapolokolo Obaiwai II, by actors in two major political parties in the race, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the All Progressives Congress, APC, from Ugboku and Urunigbe, and then to Ebosi and Upatu. The campaign train toured the remaining 4 wards in the council, preaching the gospel of peace and assurance of continued infrastructural development in the council.
Whether NDDC likes it or not, whether federal government gives give us money or not, I will build this road. I am ashamed to come to a community in Edo South to see the whole place in darkness. By the grace of God, when I become governor of my second term, I will remove you people from darkness. I want to be known as the governor of light.
Supporters of other political parties, including the APC, were received into the party after denouncing their former political parties. The word-to-word campaign continues today in Ikubalka local government. And now to the educational sector, where Benin Zone of Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, has advocated for University Transparency and Accountability Solution, UTAS, which it developed as mode of payment. The zonal coordinator of ASU, Professor Fred Esume, said this in a press conference on Wednesday at the University of Benin, Juniben. Esume said the union rejected the IPPIS as a payment platform because it was not suitable for the university system and was not designed to accommodate the peculiarities of academic institutions. He said UTAS would help check corruption in the academic system and described IPPIS as anti-academic. The University Dawn maintained that when fully developed, the UTAS would be subjected to various integrity tests in order to verify its effectiveness as software that can pass the necessary attribute test as specified by Nigerian Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA. Esume said the strike action the union declared in March was still on. He explained that the strike could be suspended or called off if the federal government satisfactorily addressed the issues in contention, which include revitalization fund for public universities, areas of earned academic allowance (EAA). Others are visitation to universities, proliferation of state universities, and issues of governance, and the conclusion of the renegotiation of the 2009 federal government and ASU agreement. The Petroleum Product Marketing Company (PPMC), a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), has increased the ex-depot price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, to 151 naira 56 kobo per litre from 138 naira 62 kobo per litre. The increase in petrol price was disclosed in an internal memo from PPMC's Ibadan depot to all stakeholders signed by D.O. Abalaka. The new petrol price increase is effective from 2nd September 2020. Most depot owners and major marketers buy the petrol directly from the PPMC store in their Most depot owners and major marketers buy the petrol directly from the PPMC store in their own depot and then sell to other marketers and filling station owners from whom Nigerians buy. The federal government had in March announced its plan to stop the subsidy payment regime, as it said the downstream sector of the oil industry will be fully deregulated. The People's Democratic Party, meanwhile, has rejected the recent increase in the price of fuel to 151 naira per litre and electricity tariff to 66 naira per kilowatt under the All Progressives Congress (APC) and its governments, saying it is callous, cruel, and punishing. The party demanded an immediate reversal of the prices to avert a national crisis, as the increase will result in an increase in cost of goods and services and worsen the biting hardship being faced by Nigerians who are already impoverished and unburdened by APC-imposed high cost of living in the last 5 years. PDP National Publicity Secretary Kola Oluwadiyan, in a statement on Wednesday in Abuja, said by increasing the price of fuel from the 87 naira per litre it sold under the PDP to an excruciating 151 naira, while at the same time allowing the hike in electricity tariff from 30 naira 23 kobo per kilowatt to over 66 naira. The APC has left no one in doubt that its agenda is to inflict pain and hardship on Nigerians to satisfy their selfish interests. Olagwadiyan said the unjustifiable increase in the price of these essential supplies, coming barely a week after the APC brazenly posted support for a fuel price hike while attempting to rationalize the excruciating hardship being suffered by Nigerians under the Buhari administration, has further confirmed that the APC is at the center of the harsh policies of the Buhari presidency. The APC spokesman called on the National Assembly to save The PDP spokesman, called on the National Assembly to save the nation by calling the APC and its administration to order. KUFM News continues right after this break. Please stay with us.
Beautiful one, I call
bless you.
This not the time of bless you. This season when we say coronavirus, so they show yourself for the world there. Now time to use tissue paper or handkerchief. Take cover your mouth or nose when you dey cough or sneeze. This not time to always wash your hand. Use hand sanitizer wey contain better alcohol. This na time to give ears, as in avoid me, give me space to any person wey dey cough or sneeze. This na time to protect yourself or neighbors from sickness. So if you notice anything, sharp carry yourself or the person go hospital or call this number free of charge. You're not going to collect money for your hand. That is toll-free number for 080 00 26 7662. 080 00 26 7662. You first bring this other number for 080 09 70 00010. Remember, say life now says coronavirus not a show for face, so and person with their life will carry first too. This message is from KUFM 2.7.
Yeah, welcome back. It's still KUFM's News Dawn. And now to the rest of the news. 40 leaders of the Northern Geopolitical Zone of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, on Wednesday distanced themselves from moves to divide the legal body. The chairman, in a communique issued at the end of a meeting they held at the NBA headquarters in Abuja, pledged their allegiance to the national president of the association, Olumide Apata, and his executives, while disassociating themselves from plots by some young Northern lawyers to form a splintered body to be known as New NBA. The chairman urged the aggrieved members to sheath their sword and support the Apata-led executives to build a united bar for legal practitioners in the country. The communique was signed by the chairman of NBA branches in the Northern Geopolitical Zone and read by the acting chairman, Arewa Lawyers Forum, Elisha Kura, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Earlier in his remarks, the NBA president, Apata, said he would reach out to all aggrieved members of the association as the NBA remains one and united, indivisible. Reports had emerged last Thursday that some lawyers of Northern extraction had formed a new Nigerian Bar Association with the aim of protecting their interests as encapsulated under Section 40 of the Constitution. In a statement reportedly signed by arrowheads of the group, Nuhu Ibrahim and Abdul Basit Suleiman, they claim that recent happenings in the legal body, including the disinvitation of Kaduna State Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai as a speaker in the just concluded conference of the NBA, exposed the inability of the association to manage and contain the heterogeneity of its members. The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 on Wednesday met with ambassadors from countries with high records of the coronavirus. The meeting, which was held in Abuja, was part of the preparation for the reopening of the country's airspace for international flights scheduled for Saturday. The airspace had been shut to international flights since March 2020, following the global lockdown as part of the measures to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting with the ambassadors was announced by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, on his Twitter handle. Onyema said he met with the ambassadors in the company of the National Coordinator, Dr. Sani Aliyu. The meeting was meant to inform the envoys about the country's new travel protocols. The federal government had earlier announced that it would apply the policy of reciprocity when the airspace is opened following the travel ban in Nigeria by some Western countries in the aftermath of the COVID-19. And meanwhile, here in Nigeria, a total of 429 COVID-19 patients have been discharged across Nigeria in the last 24 hours, bringing the total number of recoveries so far to 42,439 nationwide. New COVID-19 cases have been reported in 16 states, with 216 infections confirmed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 54,463. Plateau State has 59 new COVID-19 cases, Rivers 27, Abia 22, Lagos 20, Oyo 18, Enugu 17, Kaduna and FCT 11 each, Ogun 10, Ebonyi and Osun and Ekiti 4 each, Delta and Edo 3 each, Akwa Ibom 2 and Bauchi 1. There are 4 new COVID-19 fatalities reported in Nigeria, with the national death toll now 1,027 from 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Coming up in a moment in our business news, Nigeria records 1.8 trillion naira trade balance deficit in second quarter of 2020. Charles Oprum brings you more on our business desk this morning.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million. 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion.
No be God win yo. We no go vote any other person. We no go vote if it no be PDP. We no go vote any other party. We no go vote. Oga, make you carry your ticket go. Oga, I say carry your ticket go. Anywhere God win day, na there we dey go. Anywhere shy would go, na there we dey go. Oga, make you carry your ticket go. Oga, make you carry your ticket go. Anywhere God win day, na there we dey go. Anywhere shy would day, na there we dey go. Oga, make you carry your ticket go. Oga, make you carry your ticket go. Anywhere God win day, na there we dey go.
Vote Governor Obaseki, vote PDP.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business. The gains and the losses. The bulls and bears. The rise and falls. The risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecast, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
Welcome to business. Nigeria recorded a trade balance deficit of 1.8 trillion naira at the end of the second quarter, making the third consecutive quarter of negative trade balance. The National Bureau of Statistics disclosed this in its Foreign Trade in Goods Statistics report for the second quarter, which was released on Wednesday. It also revealed that the value of Nigeria's merchandise trade stood at 6.24 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2020. Crude oil, Nigeria's dominant export, accounted for 2.94 trillion naira, representing 72.12% of total exports in the first quarter of 2020. The value of crude oil export was 18.86% less than the value recorded in the fourth quarter of 2019 and 12.80% lower than the value recorded in the corresponding quarter of 2019. Non-crude oil exports were valued at 1.13 trillion naira, representing 27.9% of total exports during the period under review. And finally, on business, Nigeria equities rose further on Wednesday as the nearly relentless rally in banking stocks continued to support an upward trend despite pockets of profit-taking activities. Investors were upbeat to qualify for 40 kobo interim dividend by Stanbic IBTC Holdings, while shares of UBA PLC, which declared 17 kobo interim dividend, was weighed by profit-taking. At the close of trading, Stanbic shares rallied most from 36 naira 5 kobo to 37 naira 5 kobo, up to 1 naira or 2.74%. The NSE ASI increased by 0.18% to 25,460 points, while the value of listed stocks rose to 13.282 trillion naira as against preceding day lows of 25,413.76 points and 13.258 trillion naira respectively. Investors gained 24 billion naira. The negative return year to date decreased to minus 5.15%. In 3,480 deals, investors exchanged 181,320,844 units valued at 1.121 billion naira. And that's it on business. Over now to sports, where Nigeria Super Eagles to play Tunisia, Cote d'Ivoire in international friendly games. Ego Saibika has more on our sports desk this morning.